Hello, this is Jacqueline at Bilingual FM. Today is February 3rd, 2010. Our group talk today was about traditional events and celebrations, and especially about Setsubun because today is Setsubun in Japan. So I learned from my students what Setsubun is and what you do on Setsubun and what it involves and what it represents. So my understanding is that the throwing of the beans represents getting rid of bad demons or bad luck, and the bringing in of the beans represents good luck. So you're throwing away your bad fortune and bad demons and hoping for good luck for your coming spring. So this is my understanding of Setsubun. And it also marks the day of the end of the winter and the coming of the spring. So there is some symbology or some symbolism in Setsubun being the end of winter and the end of a season that is death and cold, and the coming of a new life and new plants and new trees of spring. So in speaking about Setsubun, we mentioned a new word many times, and it's a verb which is to represent. And to represent, if something represents something else, it means the meaning of something or the symbolic meaning of something, but not the literal meaning. For example, at different holidays in Japan, you eat different foods, and each food, for example, represents something else. So we eat beans because they represent health, for example, or we eat this type of vegetable because this vegetable represents happiness. So if we eat it, we get happiness. So to represent is the symbolic meaning of something. Let's do some example sentences. So number one, on Boys' Day, the koi fish flag that we fly, represents our wish for good health for our children. Or number two, the red circle on the Japanese flag represents the sun. So it's not actually the sun, it just represents the sun, it means the sun. And the third example, the symbol of the cross. So sometimes people wear a cross on their necklace, or you see sometimes you see this, you see a cross, and what do you think of? You think of Christianity or Jesus, or so often a cross represents Christianity. And just one thing that we talked about, so we had a little bit of difficulty with this one sentence, and I admit it is difficult to say. So in speaking about how we decorate our house during different festivals or holidays in Japan, I guess you decorate differently if you have a son or a daughter. So the phrase was, the incorrect phrase was, if I have a daughter, I have decorate the house. So it's a condition, so you need to say, if I would have had in the past, if I would have had a daughter, I would have decorated the house with dolls and sweets. So there's another way to say this, and it's if I had have had a daughter, I would have decorated the house with dolls and sweets. So you need to add the grammar in there that represents the past and also the condition. So if I would have, this is a condition. And then with the verb decorate, you need to also make that past, so decorated. Okay, so that's what we talked about in today's group talk. I hope this was useful for you, and I'll see you again soon.